two sets of players shaking hands as they greet each other ahead of this game. Let me run through the two teams ahead of tonight. Hull City have made just one change from their midweek win at Coventry. Liam Delap drops to the bench to be replaced by Ozan Tufan. So Hull will line up with Allsop in goal, Slater, Jones, Greaves and Jacob across the back, Irma, Morton, Seri and Philogene across the midfield. Carvalho we expect to be just in front of that four-man midfield and behind Tufan. So a 4-4-1-1 formation which might have a little bit of fluidity. As for Ipswich, two changes from their last game, which was 2 weeks ago against Middlesbrough, a 1-1 draw at Portman Road. Wes Burns and George Hurst have been out for 6 weeks and 4 months respectively with hamstring injuries, start tonight in place of Ali Al-Hamadi and Jeremy Sarmiento. So it's Haladki in goal, Twanzebe, Wolfenden, Burgess and Davis across the back, Morsey the captain and Luongo in the defensive midfield roles, with Hutchinson, Chaplin and Burns behind Hurst. What do you make of a player coming in at such an important point in the season, having been out for 4 months with a hamstring injury?
Yeah, well,
it's worth pointing out Hurst had a fantastic first half of the season.
Yeah, he did, you know, and obviously in that period he was Ipswich Town's talisman. It is a risk, but I think that what you get with young managers, you get calculated risk takers. You know, we've spoke about Liam Rosina and how his side plays. I think from Kieran McKenna's point of view, it's a brave move. He obviously feels that's the right way forward for Ipswich. You know, it's not as if they're bringing unproven players in, they're bringing proven players back in. Obviously, if they've, you know, an hamstring injury is quite a significant injury, so there is some risk to it, but I would have thought it's a good move.
Just having some photographs inside the centre circle with the mascots and various other guests tonight. The two captains are also involved. Ipswich Town in a huddle to the left and Hull City spread out across the right-hand half of the field. It's a cold but dry night on Humberside. Conditions are ideal for what is such an important game. This is Hull City's penultimate match of the season, their last home game of the regular season. I have to point out the word regular season. They might be back again in the playoffs. Ipswich, they've got 2 more games to come. Coventry in midweek, away from home, and then Huddersfield at home on the very last day. 5 points is what they're after. It's a great atmosphere inside here as we hear Elvis ringing around the stadium, being supported by about 23,000 Hull City fans.
Yeah, great song. Obviously everybody's taking part. It's a fantastic occasion for both sets of supporters. You know, it's great when your sides had a good season and you're getting to the finale now and everything's at stake. Lots to play for. Fantastic for the supporters.
This is what it's all about. All those long trips, all those tough encounters during the course of the season. It's all coming down to the business end now at Hull. And it's Ipswich Town in their traditional blue shirts with white sleeves, white shorts and blue socks, who get this game underway, attacking the goal away to our right. Hull City in amber attacking the goal away to the left, and it's Ipswich who have possession on the far side, their left, with Massimo Luongo, and then it's pushed out towards the touchline where Leif Davis sends it into the penalty area, but the touch on by Hurst finds Amari Hutchinson in an offside position. Wes Burns starts on the right, Hutchinson on the left in support of Hurst.
Yeah, I mean, you thought that, you called that before the start, Mike, to be fair. I just think from Ipswich's point of view, they've got a good feel for the game, started well, got on the front foot, they've played forward quickly. You know, from Hull City's point of view, they're just looking to settle at this moment in time.
Where better place to be than with TalkSport 2 for the climax to the EFL Championship. Ipswich have possession on the far side, just inside the Hull City half. It's lifted high up by Leif Davis, headed away by Jacob Greaves, the Hull City captain, and eventually it finds its way to the near side. And as you can hear from the roars around us, we're surrounded by Hull City fans the ball has gone out for a Hull throw, which is taken very quickly and sent back to their goalkeeper, Ryan Alsop, dressed in all bright pink. Václav Hladký, his counterpart at the other end, in a much more sombre, more neutral, dark grey and black. Hull City have a throw on the far side.
Yeah, just looking at the start, Mike, and they really started high. Ipswich Town, more or less every blue and white shirts in that Hull half, and you know they set the stall out to press Hull City, make it difficult for them.
Well, Ipswich were renowned for their fast starts in the first half of the season. I'll have it now though, near side as we look. Neat little back heel by Tufan to find Philogene. One or two little tricks to retain possession is met with applause from the home fans, and it's now on the far side of the field, the Hull right, with Alfie Jones. Carefully it's guided back to Alsop, who's outside his own penalty area, and then eventually down the line to Irma.
Yeah, if you just look at the setup now for Hull as well, Mike, they've adopted the same shape. They've basically pushed Ryan Slater right up the pitch as a right back. They've gone to a back three, which looked like a back four to begin with. They've done it every time I've seen them, Hull City, and they like to get the ball down that right hand side if they can, try and overload.
One problem Ipswich have had this season is that while they are one of the highest scorers, I think they might be the second highest scorers behind Leicester, they've struggled to keep clean sheets until lately. Hutchinson away from his marker, left-hand angle of the penalty area. Burns wants it played in. It's not going to reach him because it strikes a Hull City player, but that's the first promising move of the game after 3 minutes where it remains 0-0.
Yeah, he's looked really bright already, Amari Hutchinson. Great feet, so lively, quick over short distances, and he's really made an impression in the early parts of this game.
2002 was the last time Ipswich Town played in the Premier League. It's been a long time coming if they can do it over the next 3 games. Hull City, though, have their own agenda. They want to be involved in the playoffs at the end of this season. They want to snatch that last spot off either West Brom or possibly Norwich City. If they were to lose here tonight, Norwich would be in the playoffs for definite, and West Brom would be all but there due to their goal difference. So Hull realistically need at least a point here. Played through central midfield into the Ipswich half, away to our left, and now out wide to the near side where Tufan is waiting at the angle of the penalty area. Back heel to the left, crossed in low by Matthew Jacob, and out on this near side for a throw into Hull City. The ball lands at the feet of the Ipswich manager, Kieran McKenna, who very nonchalantly just flicks it round the back of his standing leg. And it's Jacob who's going to take the throw midway inside the Ipswich half. 4.5 minutes played at the MKM Stadium. Hull 0, Ipswich 0 on TalkSport 2. Greaves across the halfway line to find Jones, and now it's with Irma. It's an incessant noise, Neil.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is a good response from Hull City, Mike. They've really started to stamp the authority on the game. They've built so well, got runners forward, overloaded in wide areas. And for Ipswich Town at this moment in time, it's just about having a low block and denying that space in behind.
Eventually a long ball over the top from Jacob Greaves. Doesn't reach any of his teammates, and it's harmlessly through for an Ipswich goal kick to be taken by their Czech goalkeeper Václav Hladký, an ever-present in the Championship this season. He's played every single minute of every game, and he sends it high to this near side, headed down this right flank by Wes Burns, back after 6 weeks out with a hamstring injury. It's back at his feet again, short of the halfway line. It's very congested in that area, and eventually it's moved out of that particular part of the field to the far side, where it's at the feet of Abdush Irma, and then into the centre circle. Seri to Matty Jacob. Burns slips to pantomime cheers from the Hull City fans. Philogene, left edge of the penalty area, step over away from Twanzebe, but he's overrun the ball and out for another Ipswich goal kick.
Yeah, I mean, it's good build-up initially. It's great timing, to be fair, from Fabio Cavallo. He just comes off in that 10 slot, gets turned, rolls the ball out to Philogene, Jaden Philogene, and that's where he does his best work, taking full-backs off, going down the outsides. He just overruns it on that occasion, but much better from Hull City.
Hurst unable to hold possession, so Hull City have it back midway inside the Ipswich half. Luongo slides in, but Irma wins it, heads towards the penalty area on the right. Hull City threatening here. It's clipped into the box. Tufan is there. Hladky initially looked like he hadn't got it, but the ball spun up and bounced into his arms.
Yeah, that's really brave goalkeeping from Hladky, because he's not pulling out of that, Ozan Tufan. He's going straight for the ball. He's got eyes on the ball, but the goalkeeper comes out really bravely, gets something on it and gets it on the second attempt. But a good little ball into the box. They've looked quite bright now, Hull City.
Another thing to point out is that if Ipswich lose here tonight, as Leif Davis chases down a ball which is going to be shielded by Greaves, but he's actually been unable to hold off Davis, who then wins the corner. It's worth pointing out that if Ipswich were to lose here, then Leicester, they can win the championship title on Monday night at Preston. That game is exclusively on TalkSport 2, live commentary with Mark Wilson and former England defender Mickey Gray. We have an Ipswich corner on the far side, 0-0 at the MKM Stadium. Leif Davis will take it. It'll be a left-footed delivery, an out-swinger. Plenty of players moving around inside the Hull City penalty area, away to our right, including Connor Chaplin. They then break away from a bunch. It's flicked on by Burns, pushed away by Seri, I think it is, and now it's at the feet of Luke Wolfenden.
Yeah,
sorry, Neil.
Yeah, I was just saying, look, zonal marking from the corner there, mate. Wasn't convincing, to be honest with you. It's a decent ball in. Could have made more of that, Ipswich.
From distance, Morsey tries a shot and it's palmed away by the two hands of Ryan Alsop. That was a good 30 yards out.
Yeah, he's a fantastic striker of the ball. To be fair, is Sam Morsey. Takes no backlift, really well struck, and it's a good save from Alsop. He has to get across and palm that away.
Another Ipswich corner, again from the far side, way away to our right. The right arm is lifted by Davis. Left-footed, he sends it to the edge of the 6-yard area, headed out by Jacob, only to the edge of the box. Trying to manoeuvre for space is Omari Hutchinson, back out to the left, cut back by Davis. Hutchinson inside the area, doesn't really get behind his shot. It's sort of hit into the turf, and now Morsey can start again. Luongo down the left, Davis, time to look up, flicked away off the head of Jacob, 25 yards out, just to the left of centre. Morsey to Luongo, who delivers the cross, headed back in by Burgess, brought down by Twanzebe, who stayed forward, but eventually Hull City have it, and Ipswich are slightly out of position here, but they do have numbers back defending.
Yeah, that's been a good spell of pressure from Ipswich Town, really patient round the box. I loved how the way they built. They got that arc shape where they could recycle it and go down the other side, but it's also well defended by Hull. I mean, anything early on in this game has been really keenly contested.
Almost 10 minutes played. It's Hull City 0, Ipswich Town 0. Ipswich looking to get automatic promotion to the Premier League. Hull City trying to get into the playoffs at the end of the season, and they have it with Matty Jacob, but he loses possession and then wins it back before being fouled by Burns, and it's a free kick right in front of Liam Rossinia, who's in conversation with the fourth official tonight, who is Rebecca Welsh. Rossinia, son of Leroy Rossinia. Did you play against Leroy at all?
I did play against Leroy, yeah. Fantastic striker in his time.
I wonder if he's here tonight to watch his son, as Jacob sends the free kick down the line, and it'll just curl out of play for an Ipswich throw deep inside their own half. No wins in their last 3 games, Ipswich. 2 draws, including the last one against Middlesbrough a fortnight ago. Prior to that, they'd won 9 of 10 in the Championship. They were on a really good run, but as we've seen, Ipswich, Leeds and Leicester have all faltered at some point. Yeah, and I think probably they'd take comfort in that, the fact that it's happened to all 6 of them at some point. Ipswich defending just outside their own penalty area. Eventually it's hooked away by Axel Twanzebe to the halfway line. Hurst to the feet of Chaplin, and that's a terrific, strong challenge coming in from Tyler Morton. And Hull have possession now inside the Ipswich half on the far side. No goals as yet. but plenty of commitment, as was summed up by that challenge from Morton. And it's important they don't give Chaplin much time on the ball.
No, I mean, he's so bright at picking up balls in space and in between the lines. You know, he's got that turn of pace to get away from players. I just watched his movement earlier on there. He's just pulling off John Michael Surrey, who's been a really top performer for Hull City this season.
Cameron Burgess has just taken a swipe at a clearance, and luckily for him the ball has ended up back in the arms of his goalkeeper Václav Hladký. Hull are unbeaten in 5, 3 wins, 2 draws, so they're in a good run of form at the moment, timing it just right, but they really need to get something out of this game, otherwise their prospects of making the playoffs will be very remote. Davis is charging down the far side, runs past a bright orange balloon that's floating around inside the Hull City half. We don't want balloons getting in the way of football, do we?
Not really. No, it's not a good
beach
look.
Balls or anything like that.
Really, I tell you what, fantastic pace from Leif Davis there. I mean, I've seen a lot of him from his time at Leeds United, and you know, only didn't get much game time there, but when he did play, he does have a turn of pace, and he showed it there. It's a straight line ball and a straight run. Did his opposition number Ryan Slater for pace easily.
Davis's deliveries from that left-hand side have been very important this season. He's scored a couple of goals himself. He's played in all bar 3 of their championship games this season. He's been a stalwart for Ipswich Town. I guess the concern for Ipswich is if they don't go up, the likes of Davis and even their manager may well be courted by Premier League clubs.
Yeah, I think the big one's the manager, and obviously only young, made fantastic start of his time at Ipswich Town. You know, he's charging towards back-to-back promotions. I mean, that's got to take the eye.
Yes, they finished behind Plymouth in League One last season. They collected 98 points during that campaign. They can get 98 points this season as well if they win these 3 remaining games. I'll have possession on the far side. Goalless here on Humberside. 13 and a half minutes played. Talk Sport 2 bringing you live commentary from the EFL Championship. Here come Hull. Philogene though gets the ball stuck under his feet, and Ipswich can try to break away, but what's noticeable is about Hull is that no sooner do Hurst or Burns or Chaplin or Hutchinson get the ball, a Hull player is on them like a shot. Yeah,
it's a risk take, which obviously Liam Rosini is really keen on with his players. He likes them to get on the front foot and get close to the opposition. I mean, that's a really good move. It's all on 1 and 2 touch. Ball speed's fantastic. It's difficult for Ipswich to get close to that.
Hull enjoying a fair amount of possession so far as the ball goes all the way back to their goalkeeper, Ryan Allsop. His 14th professional club, Allsop. Pretty impressive to get into the Premier League. Ipswich have a throw on the halfway, and just a moment's respite and a small amount of calm inside this stadium.
You can almost see the players just taking a breather, can't you? Just for a few seconds. But both sides have made a really good start, I have to say.
Luongo loses out to Abdou Sherma, and it's now in centre field with John Michael Surrey. A quarter of an hour played. We await a goal. It's carefully all the way back to Allsop, and he just looks around for options and plays it short to his captain, Jacob Greaves. Hull-born and bred. It would mean more to him than anyone in that squad if he was to gain promotion to the Premier League. Not just the fact that he's from this area, but he's the captain of the team as well. Ipswich have possession. Neil.
Yeah, I was just thinking that I played with his dad, Jacob Greaves, at Boston United. He was another good player. He started at Hull City, so he's got tradition here in the family. And like you say, I mean, it'd be a fantastic achievement for him as captain to lead his side into the playoffs if that's possible for the club. But just looking here early on, I mean, you just feel that they've got a threat on the break, Ipswich Town. They've shown a couple of times now where they've broke at times and had the numbers on Hull City.
Often the ball is going in towards Hurst, who can then lay it off to the likes of Chaplin or Burns. That particular pass towards Chaplin is a little bit awry. It's picked up by Liam Rossinia, dressed casually in a light overcoat, hands in pockets, a grey pullover. He stands about 20 feet away from Kieran McKenna in grey slacks and a black jacket. Jacob infield, Morton further on, heading towards the midway area of the Ipswich half, but Morsey is in there, battling away for possession. Hull are forced back to their captain Greaves, and an early pass down the line. Wolfenden hits it into the crowd, taking no chances.
Yeah, I mean, there's aspects of Ipswich Town that have really impressed me. You know, I mean, obviously they like to get the ball down and play, that is a fact, but you know, if you've got to defend, you've got to defend, and at times, you know, they're ruthless. They just get close, they get tight, they get tackles in. It's got to go in Rosehead, they'll do it. They must be mindful of keeping clean sheets, because it has been their Achilles heel this season.
High ball up towards the halfway line, which Hurst is unable to keep in his possession. Hull then have it, they then lose it, and Ipswich fire it forward towards Hurst. There's a free man in the middle here, if Hurst can see Amari Hutchinson, but he had to get the ball under control first. Now on this near side, the Ipswich right, back to Chaplin, and now Burns goes round the outside of Philogene, cuts it infield, 25 yards out to the right of centre. Chaplin's ball in, strikes the backside of Hurst and falls into the path of Irma. Thumped down the line by Jacob, only as far as Twanzebe. It's not the most fluid of games, but it's certainly competitive. Yes,
I mean, it's been really well contested, and I wouldn't expect anything different for what's at stake. There has been little moments from both sides, you know, Philogene and Cavallo for Hull City and Chaplin for Ipswich. Hurst had his moments as well. He's got real game craft. It's them type of players that's going to undo this.
Twanzebe's throw across the edge of the Hull penalty area. Back to Twanzebe on this near side, the Ipswich right. Burns is onside, heading towards the corner flag. Cut back to the angle on the right. Chaplin out wide again to Burns. Just a yard or two in from the touchline. His low cross takes a deflection, and it falls to the feet of George Hurst, who steers it away into the corner of the Hull City net. And Ipswich Town have an early lead at the MKM Stadium. George Hurst, on his return, makes it Hull City 0, Ipswich Town 1.
Well, what a fantastic bit of play by Wes Burns. Classic wing player, just dropped his shoulder, went down the outside, cut that ball back with pace, and it's a mistake from Jacob Greaves, just loses his man. George Hurst just doesn't need any more introductions. He just slams that ball past the goalkeeper, Ryan Allsop, and probably on the slight balance of play, you'd say Ipswich have deserved that.
It's gone down well in that corner on the far side away to our left. There are about 2,000 Ipswich fans who've made the 4-hour or so journey up from Suffolk to be here tonight, and inside 20 minutes their team are ahead, and as it stands they're only 2 points off the Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right, Mike. You know, and I think as a start they've been measured, they've competed. When it's been scrappy the game, they've not been afraid to just go with it and put the foot in, you know. But when they've got an opportunity to get real quality into that box, fantastic win play by Wes Burns. I mean, he's had a great season, you know, and he picks his strike partner out, George Hurst, brilliantly. What a finish.
There's a long way to go in this game, but if it stayed this way, Ipswich could be promoted to the Premier League on Tuesday night away at Coventry. That game is live and exclusive on TalkSport 2. Irma, Hull looking to respond immediately. They're down this near side, they're left with Jaden Philogene. Back to Jacob. And now Morton from the halfway line checks and comes back this way. Ipswich pressing high up the pitch. Jones.
Good reaction to the goal, Mike. To be fair to Hull, they've not got their heads down. They're connecting passes, trying to make it work.
Ipswich have it though, just short of the halfway line. You're listening to Hull versus Ipswich in the EFL Championship, live on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points. 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. This season has never ceased to thrill. The Championship has been a fantastic watch all season, a great listen all season on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. The ball is at the feet of Ryan Alsop in the Hull City goal, beaten by that strike from George Hurst, who's not played since Boxing Day and has added to the 6 goals he'd scored in the Championship prior to that. What a return.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at Jacob Greaves. He won't be happy with his part in that goal, because, you know, he picks up a great position opposite the near post. It's a good starting position, but he misses the ball. You know, he's got to try and get something on that and clear. It's not a difficult ball to clear, but to be fair, Hurst, he's Johnny on the spot and he's after it.
Hull have it midway inside their own half, under pressure from Ipswich Town, in particular Sam Morsey. Now it's to the near side, more space for Hull City, urged on by their home fans. Ozan Tufan into the Ipswich half, down the centre, space here, Morton to the right hand edge of the penalty area. Hull threatening here, turn around on the edge of the box, left footed shot, Hladky scrambles away to try and meet the effort from Fabio Carvalho, but in the end it harmlessly goes wide.
Yeah, it's a good passage of play by Hull City. It's a great wing play, picks it up in a little pocket there. Tufan gets turned, drives well, picks his teammate out, Carvalho, and it's a decent effort. It's curled with his left foot towards the far corner. I think it's always going wide though, but it's been a good response by Hull City since the goal.
A worrying moment for Ipswich. Connor Chaplin, their playmaker, is down inside his own half. He doesn't look in any particular pain, but he needs some treatment. We've just passed the midway point of the first half. It allows several of the players to come to the near touchline to get refreshments and get some instructions from the 2 managers, who've also taken their opportunity to get their words across. Rossinia very animated, McKenna less so, and not surprisingly his team have the lead. In addition to the games I mentioned that will be exclusively on TalkSport 2 on Monday and Tuesday involving Leicester and Ipswich, we also have Champions League football on Tuesday and Wednesday. Bayern Munich against Real Madrid in the first leg of the semi-final of the Champions League. That's on TalkSport. Adrian Durham will be at the CBS Arena, because obviously Coventry are playing Ipswich. Commentary from Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce on the Bayern game, and then on Wednesday it's Borussia Dortmund against Paris Saint-Germain. Again, semi-final first leg. Adrian presenting, Sam Matterface and Danny Mills, your commentary team. So plenty to look forward to over the next week and the coming weeks on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. We're into the final week of the regular season in the EFL Championship, and it's all coming down to this. All promotion is what Ipswich want. The playoffs is what Hull City want. As it stands, Ipswich are heading back to the Premier League, but we have probably 70 minutes left of this game, and there have been so many twists and so many turns. It's been very difficult to predict.
Yeah, it has, and I think, to be fair, it's a brave man to predict from this point. I mean, I'm just looking at the stats, 66% possession, Hull City. But Ipswich are quite comfortable with that. You know, they've got themselves in a mid-block. It's quite predictable. But it's the expected goals. Ipswich have been really clinical, because Hull City 0.34 to Ipswich's 0.14. You know, they haven't had many chances, Ipswich, but been really clinical when they have.
And they lead through George Hurst's 19th minute goal. The Hull fans on the near side were convinced that Axel Twanzebe had run the ball out of play. The referee didn't think so. The referee, incidentally, is Andrew Kitchen, in all black tonight. And as we like with referees, not having too much of a central role, just doing the job he needs to do and allowing the play to flow. Hull have it just shy of the halfway line. It comes square and infield to Greaves. Now Jacob, 15 yards short of the halfway line. Can't get the ball through to where he wanted it to, but it has eventually, via Carvalho, found Tyler Morton heading towards the penalty area, out to the right-hand side of the box. Now it's Irma, tries to cut it in towards Morton and Carvalho. It's off an Ipswich player. It's a Hull City corner, which they want to take quickly.
Yeah, it's a little bit worrying for Ipswich how they've cut through them a couple of times now. A little bit, you know, get overloaded at times. Just the 2 central midfield players that are sat. Obviously, they've got the 3 attacking midfield players in front of that, and Hurst down the middle. But at times they've been overloaded in there.
Right wing corner, outswinger, flicked away off the head of Wolfenden. Irma picks it up midway inside the Ipswich half. It's central at the moment. Seri delicately into the penalty area, headed down by Greaves, picked up just inside the edge of the box by Carvalho, whose shot is blocked by an Ipswich defender. The Hull City fans are appreciating the assertive nature of their team.
That's a great block by Leif Davis. He just reads it, comes out of his left back slot, gets across and gets a block on it. But it's Hull City that's in the ascendancy at the moment.
But they trail by a goal to nil as Carvalho goes down under a challenge. The referee just tempted fate there, didn't I? We hardly noticed the referee, and now he's having to have a word with Axel Twanzebe, who committed the foul on Carvalho. Carvalho back on his feet.
Yeah, it's just a rash challenge, Mike, to be honest with you. He's no needed to go into that. Axel Twanzebe started really well. I mean, he's made it difficult for Jaden Philogene on the left, who's a real talisman for Hull City. He's defending well, but that's rash, and it's given Hull City a free kick in a really good position.
No card for Twanzebe, just a cautionary word from referee Kitchen. The free kick is about 5 yards in from the touchline on this near side, almost in line with the edge of the penalty area. So it's a good position to deliver a teasing cross when you've got your tall defenders like Greaves and Jones up for it. Irma and Morton are behind the free kick. It suits the left foot of Abdush Irma, and he'll deliver. It's a teasing one to the near post, and it looked from our angle that Ozan Tufan was going to glance that one in at the near post.
Fantastic ball by Irma. Fantastic ball, just teasing that Ipswich back line right across the 6-yard line. He's got to do more with that for me, Tufan, because if he gets anything on that, it's in the back of the Ipswich net.
Jacob to take the throw for Hull City, who trail by a goal to nil. George Hurst with the goal for Ipswich Town. He's a couple of yards short of the corner flag. He goes short to the edge of the area. Carvalho back to Jacob, who's now surrounded by Ipswich players. That's a fantastic delivery, whipped in with his left foot, Stuart Pearce style, and then cleared away by Ipswich into the Hull City half, and they have to rebuild again from Allsop.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of pressure there for Ipswich to deal with, and they've dealt with it well, but they've been buoyed by that. Hull City got the crowd up, 2 or 3 balls into the box, shot that's been saved by the keeper. It's a good response.
Ipswich might have the lead, but Hull have had the majority of the ball.
Yeah, they have 69% possession. Tells the story. But I think what Ipswich have done really well, they've kept the shape, they've weathered the storm, they've made it difficult for Hull at times to play around the box.
Hurst has gone down injured inside the Ipswich half, but he's now getting on his haunches as it's won back by Hutchinson on the far side, bearing down on Alfie Jones. Hutchinson goes round the outside of Jones to the edge of the area, and then is brought down by the Hull City defender. It's a free kick, literally inches outside the box on the left.
Yeah, I mean, for me, he's been one of the standout players for Ipswich so far. Amari Hutchinson's got real turn of pace, good close control. I mean, I don't know what he's doing there, Alfie Jones, because he's sending him down the outside, and he's not really going anywhere. He's not in a crossing position because he's got his body in the way of the ball, but he gives the foul away, and this is a good position for Ipswich. Don't want to concede again here, Hull.
Not too dissimilar from Hull's free kick a moment ago, a little bit further forward and a little bit closer to the edge of the area. Half an hour has been played. Ipswich lead by a goal to nil. They want to extend that lead now with this free kick. 2 men in the Hull wall. Everybody else pretty much hanging around the penalty spot and the edge of the 6-yard area. Davis goes square. Chaplin tries to get his foot wrapped around the ball in Olivier Giroud fashion and then send it sort of behind him, but he couldn't quite make it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really inventive. It's a good cutback, and he leaves the pack, Chaplin, and he gets half a turn on it, and he's unlucky with his left foot strike. It deflects wide for a corner, but there's 2 players at the edge of the box completely free for Ipswich. I don't know what Hull City was thinking there with the marking.
TalkSport 2 live at the MKM Stadium. Ipswich corner to the near edge of the 6-yard area, and the ball just seemed to come out of a huddle of players, and Massimo Luongo was able to just throw himself in, but he couldn't divert it into the goal. He went beyond the far post. Yeah,
I mean, I just think he could have done a little bit better with that. I'm not sure he realised he had that much time, but that was an opportunity, a real opportunity.
That's like the ball went into a scrum and then just popped out of the scrum. into Luongo's path. They know about rugby league in these parts.
Yeah.
And rugby union. Allsop to the far side of the field. In it goes to Irma. Now Morton. Morton gets away from Davis. Then he beats Luongo, but Davis had already recovered to step in and play it back to Hladky. Driven up to the halfway line where Hurst is in, or it's actually Burns, I think, or Hurst in an offside position, according to the assistant referee. 13 minutes left of the first half. Hull City 0, Ipswich Town 1 in the EFL Championship, live on Talk Sport 2. Myself, Mike Sewell, and Neil Redfern, the former Leeds United manager, alongside me as darkness descends on Humberside. The floodlights on the far side are now breaking through the night sky as we have a semi-view of Hull to our right, but we're concentrating on what's happening below the floodlights on that lush green surface. Ipswich from defence, working it out excellently into Morsey. Steps in though does Seri, and then one back by Luongo. Wolfenden, the towering figure of Luke Wolfenden, brings it out of defence, and it's on this near side with Twanzebe under pressure from Philogene. Like you said, we haven't seen a lot of Jaden Philogene.
No, he's done well, Twanzebe. I mean, his distribution's been good as well. He's just involved there in a really good phase of play where they've connected passes and got up the pitch. Ipswich starting to settle into this game now really well.
Just a reminder that earlier in the day in the Championship, the key results that affect these two teams. It was last night in Ipswich's case, with Leeds' defeat at Queen's Park Rangers. Leicester don't play till Monday. As for Hull City, Sheffield Wednesday beat West Brom 3-0. The Baggies dropping to 6th in the table below Norwich, who got a draw at home to Swansea. It still means that it's 2 from 3 as it stands to make it into those last two playoff places. But Norwich will be there if Ipswich win this game, as Davis brings it down, looking for a free kick right on the edge of the area, almost in exactly the same position they had that free kick a few moments ago.
Yeah, you just can't help but feel that if it had stayed on his feet there, Davis, it was in. You know, it's a touch that took out, eliminated the defender, and he could have got onto that with his pace.
Jones down the far side, cut out by Davis. Throw into Hull City. The applause and the cheers and the support continues from the Ipswich Town fans on the far side. They've had a fantastic, not just one season, 2 seasons. And when you think back to 5 years ago, they weren't the happiest fans in the country, I can tell you that.
No, it's been a tremendous rise, to be fair, under a bright young manager that's got a really good future in the game, hopefully from Ipswich Town's point of view with their club, but people will be watching in, no doubt.
Kieran McKenna awarded the EFL Championship Manager of the Season a fortnight ago. Long ball forward by Hull City. Twanzebe is all over Tufan, but it's gone through to Philogene, and it's saved by Hladky, who had to come out to meet it. The Hull City fans are furious. They wanted a free kick. The referee's given the yellow to Twanzebe. Has he given the free kick? Or no? Or will the play just have been allowed to continue? I think he's going to allow the play to continue, but he's gone back, now that the ball is dead, to give the yellow card.
Yeah, I mean, it was a yellow card offence. He does ever so well, Tufan, because he gets his body in between himself and Twanzebe, and he just tries to wrestle Tufan to the floor. The ball accidentally falls at Philogene's feet, and it's a great save, to be fair, from Hladky. Spreads himself brilliantly.
Jacob ran the outside, and then Twanzebe concedes the corner. Confirmation of the yellow card for the Ipswich right back. Hull City, as we approach half-time, a feeling, they're anticipating, they're wanting something. An equaliser is what they really want. To the area on this near side, their left. Irma with the low cross driven in all the way through to the edge of the box. Seri was teeing up a shot. Philogene with the volley, but he got underneath it, and it's high and wide of Hladky's goal.
Yeah, I mean, from now on in, Mike, I just can't help but feel if you're Hull City, you've got to get the ball out to Jaden Philogene, because he's on a yellow card now, Axel Twanzebe. You know, he's very committed, he's not frightened of going in and tackling. He only needs to miss time one, and that's Ipswich down to 10 players.
There's something going on the near side. The fourth official, Rebecca Welsh, is having a word with Wes Burns. I don't know whether he came off momentarily to do something, but they're having a dispute, Welsh and Burns, about something that happened off the ball while that play was continuing.
Yeah.
And Burns is having to wait to come back on. I wonder whether he came off to do something and then he just trotted back on without getting permission. And now the cheers are up because Hull have won it back, and Ipswich still only have 10 men. Philogene down the left-hand edge of the area, goes beyond Twanzebe, but he overhit the pass. Burns is on the field. He's shouting at the referee. The Hull City fans are shouting at Burns. What was that all about?
I think he went off for a little bit of treatment there, to be fair, Wes Burns, but obviously the fourth official wouldn't let him back on.
And the Ipswich backroom staff are actually now discussing it with Rebecca Welsh. And now Ipswich have it with Burns, just short of the halfway line. 7.5 minutes left to the break. Ipswich lead by 1-0. A goal scored by George Hurst on his return after 4 months out with a hamstring injury. It's another foul. It's another Hull City free kick. This one is not going to result in a yellow card.
Yeah, they've just got to be careful here in Ipswich, because they're getting sucked into a scrap a little bit, and when they've regained the ball before and connected passes and look very, very composed, they just look a little bit like they're on edge at the moment.
Free kick then, just in from the touchline on this near side, the Hull City left. Abdush Irma will take it. Midway inside the Ipswich half. They're all hanging around the edge of the penalty area. Irma delivers short, headed away by Chaplin. Only as far as Seri. Back out to the near side for Irma again. This time he clips it in with his left foot, but he steers it with the outside of his boot, so it spins rather kindly into the arms of Hladky. Yeah,
he's looked very assured, hasn't he, Hladky? You know, he's dominated his box. He's given good information to his defenders. He's come for things when they've needed him. Like Brian Clough used to say about goalkeepers, you just need them when you need them.
I think they take it as a compliment.
Yeah, exactly.
Hladky, incidentally, has kept 14 clean sheets in the league this season. That's a third of the games he's featured in.
It's not a bad return, is it, to be fair?
Well, Ryan Alsop has kept 10, so that's 24 between them during the course of the championship season. But it's only Hladky who holds a clean sheet tonight, because Ipswich lead as we approach half-time. Some Hull fans in front of us are deciding to make an early break for the refreshment posts in the concourse. I don't like doing that. You could easily miss something. There's another 6 minutes or more left.
Only takes a second to score a goal, mate.
Did Clough say that as well?
No, I've just said it now, mate.
It's given away on the edge of the area. Hull are in here. Here's a chance. Laid off to Tufan! And the roar of the home crowd tells you everything you need to know, because Hull City have equalised. And it's Ozan Tufan on his return to the team. A mistake at the back by Ipswich. The clean sheet for Hladky is gone. But more importantly, it's Hull City 1, Ipswich Town 1.
Well, fantastic initiative from Hull City. Great counter press. I don't know what Ipswich Town are thinking. You know, you're that close to half-time. Keep your clean sheet intact. But they try and fiddle and work the ball out, and they're on it, Hull City. It's a great regain and a good finish from Tufan, because he still had a lot to do.
Hull City all square now. There was, in unison, as that ball was heading into the net, the whole of the stand in front of us got to their feet and blocked our view.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, look, from Ipswich Town's point of view, they'd managed this game so well. They'd not got a lot of possession, but they got the goal, which was important. The last thing they want to do is give Hull City a leg up, and it's exactly what they've done.
They were playing around with it on the edge of their own penalty area, and Ozan Tufan said, thank you, I'll take advantage of that, to score his 10th championship goal of the season. What a time to score, Neil.
Yeah, just before half time, exactly. You know, and it's given them a massive lift. They've had a good reaction since the goal, to be fair, all.
Here come Ipswich, though, at the other end of the field, looking to try and restore the lead that they held for so long in this first half. It's lifted the voices of the home fans. 24,298 inside the MKM Stadium tonight. Crossed in by Davis into the penalty area, headed out by Matty Jacob, to huge applause from the Hull fans, some of them standing and urging the team to press Ipswich on the halfway line. Davis down the line for Hutchinson, in line with the edge of the area, far side, the Ipswich left. Hutchinson turns 360 back onto his left foot, then a back heel to Davis, carefully to the edge of the area. It's all short, precise passes, but it comes to nothing. Yeah, a little bit complicated for me. That ball could have come in twice there, just overplaying a little bit there, Ipswich Town. You know, they were really disappointed with that goal, Mike, because they managed the game so well. They hadn't had a lot of possession, but they got the noses in front. They'd made Hull predictable at times. You know, the yellow card for Twanzebe is a little bit of a worry, because he's been a bit of erratic with some of his challenges, and Philippines a difficult customer to play against. But for Hull City's point of view, they're back in business. All square, and they need a point realistically tonight to stay in with a shout of the playoffs. If they lost here, then almost certainly West Brom will take the last place, because their goal difference is far superior. Yeah, but they've not panicked, Hull City, Mike. They've kept going, they've kept trying to play, they've probed, they've got in front of goal a couple of times. You know, I wouldn't have thinking the wildest dreams, or they would imagine that Ipswich are giving them opportunity like that. Burns for Ipswich down the near side. Got two Hull players for company, squares into the edge of the area, laid off by Hurst, 25 yards out. Now to the left of the box, Davis is there. Plenty of options in the middle for him, but he goes short to Luongo on the edge of the area. He plays it forward to Davis, who's onside, despite the cries of the Hull City fans around us, and it's back to Luongo, to the edge of the area again on the far side, the Ipswich left. Burgess, Hutchinson, they've come deeper, but going back one step to try and move forward two. Edge of the box now, Hurst turns, but straight into Jacob Griggs. Now it's to the near side, Burns. Really good deliverer with his right foot, Wes Burns, but he's lost possession, and Hull are on the counter, but they haven't got many numbers up. Carvalho was fouled, and Philogene is effectively all on his own against the Ipswich defence, and it runs out of steam, not surprisingly, but the fans are not happy with the foul on Carvalho. Yeah, that was really late from Wes Burns. It's definitely a yellow card. I think he's got away with one there, but a good break from Hull City. You know, it's a good reaction since Ipswich Town's goal. I think he's going back to book him, Mike. He is going to go back to book him. He's walking to this near side, and Wes Burns is his target. So the second Ipswich player in referee Kitchen's notebook. Burns joins Twanzebe. Well, if you were a betting man and you were Hull City, you'd think, get down this left-hand side where both Wes Burns is on a yellow card and Axel Twanzebe is on a yellow card. Ipswich have possession though. 3 minutes of additional time to come at the end of the first half. 1-1 the score. Burns from the right. Ball pops up off the leg of Matty Jacobs and is steered into touch for an Ipswich throw deep inside the Hull City half. As it stands, Ipswich are level on points with Leeds, but behind them, Leeds ahead of Ipswich on goal difference. But they have that game in hand. That's as it stands, for what it's worth. We still have another half to come. Chaplin, just outside the area on this near side, sends in a cross, headed away by Irma. Now it's with Cameron Burgess, Ipswich's Australian defender. Now Luongo, out wide to Davis. Lovely ball in the channel. Luongo to the dead ball line. Brilliant last-ditch challenge by midfielder Abdur Sharma. Yeah, they've defended them wide areas really well. They're really aware of it, because they make good way in them positions to Ipswich. They connect passes, they work the ball quickly, and it's a good run, to be fair, from Luongo, and a good challenge in the end from Irma. Ipswich corner then in the second minute of added time at the end of this first half. Leif Davis takes it left-footed, low, headed away by Irma. Wolfenden will pick it up 25 yards out. He slides it out to this near side on the angle of the box. Hutchinson goes for the curler! What a goal! Omari Hutchinson! What a fantastic finish from the left foot of Hutchinson. He came in from the right-hand angle of the area and then steered it, curled it beyond and over Allsop. It's Hull 1, Ipswich 2.
What a fantastic strike. Unbelievable strike on his left foot. He actually finds himself there by chance because he's on the edge of the box from the corner. The ball's recycled out to him and he starts to take his man coming in on his favourite left foot, and he curls that unerringly beyond Ryan Allsop into the far corner. That's a goal fitting to win any game. What a fantastic strike. Take a bow, young man. Great goal.
Well, the Netherlands used to have a player that used to do that all the time, Arjen Robben.
Yeah.
Just like a Robben goal, that one.
He's been excellent as well, Omari Hutchinson. You know, he's a real handful.
His 8th league goal of the season, on loan from Chelsea. I wonder if he'll be staying at Ipswich if they get in the Premier League next season. That'll be something for Kieran McKenna to look at when the campaign ends. Will it end with automatic promotion? They've restored their lead and we have just a few seconds left of added time as it's played forward by Ipswich. Hutchinson, the goal scorer, wins it back but unfairly. It's a free kick.
I'm not sure, mate. I think that's a good challenge. He gets caught there, Slater. It's a good challenge from Hutchinson.
Every week the Championship delivers.
It does, mate. That's the beauty of it, I think.
Morning, noon or night, and we have an enthralling evening game here. Hull send a free kick to the edge of the Ipswich area, headed across the box by Greaves, away by Ipswich Town. We're into the 4th minute of added time. There will be a little bit extra because of the celebrations for the second Ipswich goal. It's gone all the way back to Allsop, played down centre field. Wolfenden heads away, flicked on by Luongo, and then Hurst to the left. That's the far side. Leif Davis cynically pulled back by Fabio Carvalho, and as they say, Neil, he's taken one for the team. Yeah,
that's an easy one for the referee. It's really cynical from Carvalho. He loses his man. He's got blistering pace, Leif Davis, and he goes on the overlap, gets onto that ball, and it's a cynical foul from Carvalho, and he gets a yellow for it. But just look at Ipswich now, and they've got the players with the ability and the quality to score at any point. They've not had all the possession. The possession stats have been with Hull City.
Referee has blown his whistle to bring an end to a very enjoyable first half. What do you make of the substitution that Hull City have just made? Liam Delap has come on for Tyler Morton.
Yeah, interesting one. Whether they're going to go with 2 up top and go a little bit lighter in midfield, maybe a change of shape, back to a 4-4-2, I don't know, but I suppose they've got to go for this, Hull City. There's no point hanging back.
So that's the only change made by either manager at the start of the second half as it's underway. Hull City in possession of the ball with Regan Slater forward. It goes towards the edge of the area. Already Delap is involved, lays it to Philogene. He then clips it into the box. Tufan had a clear header and managed to head it wide of goal.
That's a great chance. That's a really good chance. I mean, the only thing I would say is he's done well to climb because he's going backwards. It's a little bit big for him, but he's got to try and get over that and hit the target with it. He's so close in, anywhere either side of Hladky, and that's in the back of the Ipswich net. Really loose marking from Ipswich as well.
Hull City in all amber, attacking the goal away to our right in the second half. Ipswich in blue shirts with white trim, white shorts and blue socks, attacking the goal away to the left, occupied by Ryan Allsop, resplendent in highlighter pink, you might call it. And it's played out to the far side, to the left back position, and Matty Jacob back into Allsop again, and now to the feet of Alfie Jones. Good start to the second half from Hull City, but Ipswich have won it, and then Hutchinson rides the challenge of Jones, trying to outsmart him. Allsop will tidy up at the back for Hull. Irma Short ball to Slater, under pressure from a couple of Ipswich players, but quite comfortably gets himself out of a hole. Now it's by Seri to Greaves and across to the far side of the field. Ipswich leading 2-1, looking to get the 5 points they need for promotion. Tufan slips on the halfway line but recovers his footing to then play it forward. Carvalho into Jacob. Now it's Philogene, left-hand side, just outside the penalty area. A couple of step-overs to try and outwit Axel Twanzebe. Infield to Seri now. And across to the near side. Still only midway inside the Ipswich half. Slater hugging the touchline. Short ball back to Irma. And now Jones is literally like everybody wants a touch of the ball.
Yeah, it's almost like a phase of play in a coaching session. Everybody back behind the ball for Ipswich.
Out to the left of the area, and Twanzebe forced to clear for the corner. First corner of the second half, 2.5 minutes in.
Yeah, taken quickly as well by Philogene. They want to get on with it, Hull City.
Carvalho up against Chaplin. Now Philogene from the dead ball line, clips it deep to the back post, headed by Greaves, attempt to flick it on, and eventually it's Tufan again, is it?
Yeah.
Headers over the bar from 6 yards out.
He's had two great chances, Mike. I mean, that's got to end up in the back of the net. The only thing is, it does sit up a little bit big. He can't get over it, but he's got to be athletic and get right above that ball and power it in. They've been really loose in these opening exchanges, Ipswich. You won't be happy, Kieran McKenna.
Well, Liam Rossinia, after watching Tufan's header go over the bar, turned, put his head in his hands and stooped as he walked back towards his bench. He's certainly cutting the more anxious figure in the technical area. Kieran McKenna, hands in pockets, just casually moving from left to right.
Yeah, obviously they're in the box seat, Ipswich. They've got 2 more games to play as well. I mean, this is a chance to try and get more closer to promotion, but I think from Hull City's point of view, that's a couple of really good chances you just don't want to turn down. They might not get many more.
I remember in the reverse fixture at Portman Road earlier in the season, I thought Hull played well in that game, but again they weren't decisive enough.
Yeah.
They weren't clinical, and Ipswich were, and it was a 3-0 victory.
Yeah, I mean, I just wondered at times, I know you've got a prolific scorer in Billy Sharp sat on the bench. You know, some of these chances that have fallen to Tufan, you can't help feeling that Billy Sharp might have put them in. Even
at the age of 38. Yeah. Billy Sharp, who's been promoted to the Premier League with Sheffield United on 2 occasions. In the meantime, Burns down the far side, brilliant sliding tackle from Matty Jacob. Gets the deserved reward of applause from the home fans, but it's Ipswich's supporters who are in full voice on the far side. It's going to be a long journey home tonight. They're not going to get back till the early hours, but they will not care one jot if they can hold on to this or extend their lead and move a step closer to automatic promotion to the Premier League. Those fans there, those ones that have followed them for years and years, 3 or 4 years ago, if anyone had said you're going to be on the brink of the Premier League in 2024, they would have laughed at you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tremendous achievement. I mean, I'm old enough to think back to the days of Bobby Robson and, you know, the great Ipswich side, Arnold Muir and Franz Tyson, you know, Paul Mariner, the late Paul Mariner, you know, and I think that they've always had history and tradition, you know, the forays in European trophies as well. But, you know, it's upwardly mobile now, Ipswich Town. They've got a really bright young manager, they've got a good side, they're playing good football, and they're on the brink of another promotion.
And they're coming forward now. Hurst, just outside the area, tries to lay it off to Hutchinson, but one of the Hull City players, Alfie Jones, was in the way, and so Ipswich start again from the halfway line. 6 minutes played in the second half at the MKM Stadium. Ipswich lead 2-1. Hurst lays it to Hutchinson. Now it's at the left edge of the area. Davis with the early cross to the back post. In comes Burns with a header. Hurst was waiting, but Jacob Greaves got his foot in the way and denied him a clear sight of goal. And now the big scramble inside the Hull half results in Davis picking it up into the left edge of the area, sends in the cross, blocked by Slater. Ipswich Town corner.
Yeah, they've been a strong facet, Hutchinson and Burns in wide areas for Ipswich Town. Also Leif Davis coming from left back, supporting wide player Burns really, really well. this is a better phase of the game for Ipswich.
Down low to our left on the near side in front of the Hull supporters, who are trying to point out to the referee that Leif Davis has got the ball placed outside the quadrant. He takes the corner though to the near post, thumped away by Seri. It's going to trickle out for a throw-in to Ipswich Town, who, given the fact that they're in front, won't be in a great hurry to take it. There's a long way to go though. At least another 40 minutes or so. Davis with a throw this time, over the top of the Hull defence. Hutchinson with a touch. Irma picks up the loose ball. This near side, deep inside Hull territory. Down the line it goes from Slater, headed back by Burgess. Morsey turns away from one Hull player, then shrugs off Fabio Carvalho. Brings in Twanzebe on the far side, who pushes it out, prods it out to Burns, and then goes for the return.
Yeah, he's not going to catch that. He does well there, Greaves, gets across. Good play by Ipswich Town, to be fair. Been really impressed with Sam Morsey. You know, he's been about for a while now. Been a good servant to most of the clubs he's played for. He's really dominated in midfield alongside Luongo.
Morsey now 32 years of age. Well, he would be delighted to captain Ipswich as a promoted team to the Premier League. It could happen as early as Tuesday night in Coventry if they win here. Otherwise, if they don't win here, it will go to the final day as Irma is brought down by Luongo. It's a third yellow card for an Ipswich player. Twanzebe, Burns and now Luongo in the notebook.
He's been impressive tonight, Irma. Very busy and bright, got good touch. You know, you can see where he gets his place in the side.
The ball is played all the way back to Allsop. No sign of movement on either bench. The only people standing on what is a rubber black surface by the edge of the pitch are the coaches and the fourth official. Irma to the edge of the area, into the area. The shot is blocked by an Ipswich player, collected by Connor Chaplin, who's been, by his turns, relatively quiet tonight as he steers it up towards the halfway line. Lovely first touch from Wes Burns to bring it down, and now Hurst down the left side. Ipswich have 3 against 3 coming in from the left. Hurst, the angle is quite acute, and he's shown too much of the ball to Ryan Allsop, and it just peters out in the end after what was brilliant control from Wes Burns.
Yeah, and good defending in the end, because he just channeled him away from goal there. Allsop makes a good save.
Almost 10 minutes played in the second half. Ipswich with the advantage, 2-1. They lead on Talk Sport 2, live at the MKM Stadium, bringing you more enthralling football from the EFL Championship, and we will be again on Monday night. Preston Leicester, here comes Ozan Tufan, marauding through the Ipswich defence. He's still going to the dead ball line, but the cutback is straight to an Ipswich player.
Yeah, just the final thing in and around the box for Hull City is just lacking in this game so far. Fantastic run from Tufan. They beat 4 Ipswich defenders.
Now Carvalho with the cross to the near post. Hull City have drawn level, crossed into the near post and converted for the equaliser. We've hardly had any time in the second half, and it's the substitute, Liam Delap, who makes it Hull City 2, Ipswich 2.
Yeah, he feels justified about his substitution, Liam Rosina. It's a great ball in, to be fair, and he times his run superbly well. Delap gets across his marker and just pokes it in at the near post. It's come against the run of play because they started this half quite well, Ipswich Town.
The goal coming in the 56th minute. And all the noise is now coming from the 23,000 or so Hull City fans inside. Ipswich immediately trying to tack down this near side. They responded within 7 minutes of Hull's first equaliser. I'm not sure Hull will let them do it again. Irma into midfield. Suddenly the game is opening up. Luongo, headed by Seri, collected by Tufan on the halfway line. Now Chaplin trying to thread it through, and eventually we can settle a little bit.
Yeah, I just think the tails are up now, Mike. It's a problem now for Ipswich because they're really on the front foot. They look a little bit leggy at this moment, Ipswich Town.
Tufan to the far side, the whole left. Philogene, midway inside the Ipswich half, comes in field. And then eventually is brought down by
He's got to be careful here, Twanzebe.
He's already been booked. The whole players and most of the fans in front of us are urging the referee to get a yellow card out for Twanzebe. That would be a major blow to Ipswich to lose a defender.
Yeah, I just wonder if Kieran McKenna's looking across and thinking, don't replace me right back here. He's very close, he's on a yellow. He's a tricky customer, Jaden Philogene.
Well, he's got George Edmondson on the bench, who's a defender. He could come on if he did want to protect Twanzebe. But as it is, Hull have a free kick, having just equalised. Irma clips it into the penalty area. Headed away by Burgess. Hooked further clear and over the halfway line by Ipswich, who suddenly find themselves under the cosh. Kieran McKenna's just motioned to Jeremy Sarmiento to get himself ready. We're going to see at least one change from Ipswich Town. Like you said, Neil, it just feels like Ipswich is suddenly on the back foot.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's like they're unsure. The goal just puts that little bit of doubt in the minds. They just look a little bit leggy.
Delap is away from Burgess down this near side. Across comes Wolfenden to cover. All the fans in front of us rose to their feet, which requires you and I to rise to our feet as well. Or me, I'm not as tall as you are.
Yeah, you just need to relax and try and get on the ball and start playing again. Two players we've not mentioned who've been outstanding for Ipswich this season, Luke Wolfenden and Cameron Burgess, been brilliant. They played well again tonight. I know they've conceded twice, Hull City, but Ipswich Town, but they've not been an issue with the goals.
Huge support for the home fans, from the home fans, for the home team. The Ipswich fans for once are sat motionless, watching on. It'll be an anxious time. It doesn't matter who you are, does it?
No.
It doesn't matter if you're Ipswich, Hull City, West Bromwich Albion, Norwich City, Leeds United.
Yeah,
this time of the season.
I think this is what the game's all about, Mike, and at the end of the day, it's your team, it's your town, and you live it. This is what supporting football clubs is about.
Hutchinson, midway inside the whole half, has his progress blocked by Seri, but I think the referee's actually brought it down for a previous brought it back for a previous challenge, which is about 10 yards back. We're midway inside the Hull City half.
To be fair to the referee, he hasn't got that many things wrong, I don't think, Mr. Kitchen. He's been Johnny on the spot with the yellow cards. I think he's got them right. You can't help but feel that he might have a part to play though in this.
Free kick for Ipswich then. It's midway inside the whole half, just to the left of centre. It's going to be taken by Leif Davis, the Ipswich left back. We've had an hour's play. It's 2-2 here. Davis into the area. Oh, flick towards goal! And off the crossbar by Cameron Burgess. It was a glancing header, but he basically converted the power of the free kick towards goal, and everybody, including Allsop, just stood and watched. It was almost like it was in slow motion.
Well, that's really fortunate that struck the bar for Hull City, because I don't know where Ryan Allsop's going. He's left his goal. It's unguided, really. He's almost near the edge of the 6-yard box.
The ball now is all the way back with Hlatke and the Ipswich goal away to our right. Ipswich are preparing both Sarmiento and Kiefer Moore to be introduced. You're listening to Hull versus Ipswich in the EFL Championship. Live on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points. 18 plus terms and conditions applied. Hurst turns away from his marker. Hutchinson to the left here. Davis charging forward to the box, right-footed. It's his weaker foot, and he got right underneath it, as you might tell from the reaction of the home fans. Yeah,
he tended to rush that, to be fair, Leif Davis. His first touch is brilliant. He just eliminates the defender, cuts inside on it, puts it on his weaker foot, like you say. Might have been better having another touch, because he could really clear the pathway in towards the goal there.
Unsurprisingly, Kieran McKenna is replacing the two players who've been out for extended periods. Wes Burns and George Hurst, who got the opening goal, both have had hamstring injuries. In Hurst's case, 4 months out with a hamstring injury. They've both come off to be replaced by Jeremy Sarmiento and Kiefer Moore. So Moore will go straight up front into Hurst's position, and Sarmiento will play, where will he play? Left side of the attack. But it's Hull who are doing the attacking now. Jacob down the line on the far side for Philogene. Gets it back and then returns the compliment. Philogene heading towards the area now. Carvalho tried to thread it through. Handball against Luongo, who has been booked.
Yeah, well, the letter of the law perhaps, but has been quite lenient there, the referee. They've just lost the way a little bit here, Ipswich. You know, where they've had that composed play and they've managed the game well when they've been out of possession. They're just starting to look a little bit loose in transition.
Hull City beat Coventry City 3-2 in midweek to effectively end Coventry's hopes of making the playoffs and keep theirs alive. They're looking for a goal that would make it 3-2 here as it's sent into the area, headed down, but away from the penalty area. Near side as we look, the Hull right. In fact, Seri's forced to go all the way back to his goalkeeper. Been a riveting affair, hasn't it, Neil?
Yeah, I mean, 4 goals already. I mean, we're only an hour in. It's, you know, I think both sides have shown really good moments. You know, you can see why Ipswich are where they are. You can see the run that all have been on.
Great ball over the top from Leif Davis, which Connor Chaplin went after, but couldn't judge the bounce of the ball to make a contact. Now, Tufan for Hull. Play is reverting from one end to the other very quickly. Philogene against Twanzebe on the left. Good defensive work by Ipswich. Hutchinson then pokes it into centre field to find Luongo. Short, sharp passes from Ipswich Town, promoted from League One only last season as runners-up. They're now looking to finish in the top 2 in the Championship and return to the Premier League after more than 2 decades away. Moore flicks it on. Chaplin's after it, but Hull have enough numbers back to cover. Hull City 2, Ipswich 2 on TalkSport 2. 64 minutes played. Is there going to be a winner here, or will they both have to settle for a point? Carvalho on the halfway line, short to Slater, and then back to Jones. Ipswich doing a good job of closing down the spaces. Yeah,
they've worked the shape out as well. They've locked on really well there, Ipswich. They've pressed well at times. They're just, to be fair to Hull City, they're technically really good to get out of tight situations. It's been a really interesting contest.
Carvalho picks it up in the Ipswich half and then steers a long ball right to the feet of Jaden Philogene. Precise, down the line to the channel where Tufan is waiting on the far side. He comes away with the ball, goes slightly deeper, then square. Seri clips it away from one challenge but walks straight into Sarmiento. Is picked up by Luongo and Kiefer Moore is charging ahead of him. Luongo into Moore, has to check his position. The ball was just behind him. Now it's Luongo again, inside the Hull half. Near side as we look, midway inside Hull territory. Moore back out to this near side. Davis hasn't really got many options on and is going back to Burgess.
Yeah, really good feet from Keith Moore though to keep possession.
Now Wolfenden into centre field with Morsey, the captain. Chaplin, nice touch on towards the D. Here's Kiefer Moore with the shot, saved by Allsop. Parried out for a corner. First time Kiefer Moore has had a sight of goal since coming on as a substitute. Well,
that's a really good strike from Kiefer Moore. I just feel it's a fantastic turn. Loses his man brilliantly. It's on his left foot, and I just feel that he had enough time there to maybe do a little bit more with that. Straight at Allsop. Makes the save though. He's got to save it.
You wouldn't bet against another goal, would you?
No.
Well, at least another goal.
Yeah, at least, yeah. I mean, I don't think the scoring's done by a long chalk. I hope I haven't just put the mockers on it there.
Well, when you think what's at stake...
Yeah, absolutely.
They're both going to go for it. Hull have to get something from the game. If Ipswich can ease the pressure going into Coventry in midweek, if they win this game, they can get promoted on Tuesday night at Coventry and have a joyous day at home against Huddersfield next weekend.
Yeah, and I think from Ipswich Town's point of view, they've got to go for it, like you say.
Sarmiento with the corner, swung in. It was actually Davis with the corner. I beg your pardon. It's gone all the way out, and it will be taken again by the Ipswich left back.
Yeah, the set plays have not been convincing, have they? They've not got good ball in. They've had a lot of set plays, Ipswich.
Another in-swinging corner in front of his fans to the near post. I think it was Allsop who had to punch it away. Stooped down low. Now it's to the right angle of the penalty area. Here's Hutchinson. Another curler. Another goal. What a finish by Omari Hutchinson. Well, he's done it once. He's done it twice. And Ipswich restore their lead. Two wonderful left-footed finishes by Omari Hutchinson have made it Hull City 2, Ipswich Town 3.
Well, this is a higher tariff than the first one, to be honest with you, because it's further outside the box. The angle's not great. He opens himself up, and just the assurity of the strike, it's unerring. It's gone right into the corner. It's slightly dipped in front of Allsop before he's gone down for it, but you know, Hull City can't be happy with that. You just can't give a player the quality of Omari Hutchinson that much time around the box, particularly when it's on his left foot. Unbelievable finish. Two fantastic finishes from the little fella.
Well, just before half-time, he put Ipswich back in front, and now for the third time in the game, Ipswich take the lead, and for the second time, it's Hutchinson with the goal. He's on a hat. If he scores a hat-trick of those,
amazing. Honestly,
that'll be a memorable one.
You think as well, you know, from Ryan Allsop's point of view, that as that runs across him onto his left foot, he's thinking he's going right across me into the far corner. I've got to get across, but so unerring the finish that he just can't get there. Allsop.
The drama just keeps on coming, and now the Ipswich fans are bouncing around in that corner away to our left on the far side of the field. They're sensing they're getting ever closer to promotion, but they know as much as we do. At the midway point of the second half, so much more can happen, and Hull are fighting. They're doing their utmost to stay in the playoff picture.
Yeah, it's been really tough on Hull, because the two finishes from Hutchinson have just been world class, you have to say.
Makes you wonder whether Chelsea are watching on thinking, we could do him.
Yeah, well, they're struggling out. They can't buy a win at the minute. You think he'd get a chance, you know, at least.
Chelsea are playing over on Talk Sport at the moment. They were 2-0 down at half-time against Aston Villa. But 2-1. They have pulled a goal back in that game. But we are watching Ipswich come forward again. Sarmiento from the dead ball line, crossing in, headed away. Hutchinson was actually waiting there. If that ball hadn't been cleared, he'd been on for his hat-trick. Now Hull, very much route one down centre field. Carvalho puts pressure on. Delap, who scored the second equaliser, pushes it forward. It's going to go all the way through, is it, to Irma? It was read by Burgess, and now it's Hutchinson down the far side, crosses the halfway line. He's twisting one way, then the other, turning Matty Jacob inside out. Here he is, same position for another shot here. Hutchinson, Sarmiento, saved by Allsop. So close to a fourth.
I got that one just right, didn't he, Allsop? That's a savable eye, I have to say. It's a decent strike from Sarmiento. But again, it's that man, Omari Hutchinson. He's caused all sorts of problems, whether he's popped up on the right or the left. He's just unplayable at this moment in time.
Allsop has made 2 or 3 very good saves in
this game. Yeah.
That one being one of them. 70 minutes played, 20 minutes of normal time remaining. Hull City 2, Ipswich 3. Can Hull equalise for a third time in this game? This was the scoreline when Hull won at Coventry in midweek. This has been quite a familiar scoreline, isn't it? Throughout the whole season. Certainly if you're an Ipswich fan.
I just feel as well, it must be soul destroying for Hull City. Every time they come back and get a goal, that someone of that quality goes and finds the back of the net for Ipswich.
Here he comes again, he's coming in, he's in the area now. Hutchinson's shot, again it's saved by Allsop. Allsop is really earning his corn tonight.
I just feel that Ryan Slater's, you know what I mean, they just need more than that at left back. You know, he's having a problem against him. Matty Jacobs, sorry. You know, he's really going past him.
But he's worked it out nicely as Jacob down the far side to Fabio Carvalho into centre field, midway inside the Ipswich half. Now to the right, Regan Slater picks it up, misses out, and Sarmiento has robbed them of the ball, and Slater's out of position, but Ipswich don't have that many coming forward. Sarmiento's having to look for options. into the centre circle. Chaplin then out wide. You sense Ipswich want to get a 2-goal advantage.
Yeah, this game's getting stretched as well, Mike. You know, I mean, it's been really difficult for Hull City.
Hutchinson coming in again from the right side onto his favoured left foot. This time, though, he doesn't get the space. He's not afforded the room for a shot. And so Carvalho has it. Edge of the D inside his own half, and then out to the left to Philogene. This has been a fantastic game to watch.
Just looked at Kieran McKenna, and always stood there, one of the subs who's trying to explain what he's wanting him to do when he brings him on. He's got his arm around him. Looks like there's going to be more substitutes for Ipswich.
Hull are also preparing to bring on Noah Ohio, who scored the late winner against Coventry in the week. So Liam Rossini will be saying to him, can you do a similar feat tonight? He'll be the first one to come on once the ball goes dead. Talk Sport 2, live from the MKM Stadium. EFL Championship football, thrilling EFL Championship football. Where else would you rather listen to it than here on Talk Sport? Out on the far side now with Hull City and Jayden Philogene. Infield for Jacob, 25 yards out. Back out wide to the far side. Philogene again, now square. Carvalho urged to shoot, but there's no room to do that, so he lofts it over the top. Slater tries to volley it straight into the danger area. He's won a corner. Will Hull bring on Ohio now?
Yeah,
or will they wait?
You think so, wouldn't you?
They're going to bring him on for Abdush Irma, who you pointed out had a very good first half.
Yeah, it was excellent.
Irma just steps away at the corner flag, gets a standing ovation from everybody in front of us. Noah Ohio, the Dutchman. 2 goals to his name in the league this season, one of them the other day. Corner comes in from Carvalho, headed down by a Hull player, away by Luongo, and then it's picked up, but the referee has stopped it for a
flash of heads,
not one, not two, but 3 head injuries.
Yeah.
2 Ipswich players and a Hull player all went for the same ball, and now it'll give Ipswich a chance to make a double substitution. They've already brought on 2. Lewis Travis and Jack Taylor are the 2 Ipswich players coming on. Both midfielders. Does that tell you anything, Neil?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I mean, well, I was looking at Ipswich and what made things work, and you know, obviously you can't look past, you know, Hutchinson and Wes Burns and obviously Hurst in that front line. But I think that box in the shape, you know, the 2 centre-backs as 2 centre midfield players, Luke Wolfenden and Cameron Burgess at the back, Sam Morsey and Massimo Luongo in midfield, has been absolutely outstanding for Ipswich this season. Everything's evolved around that box of 4 players. They've been really good.
Chance for some refreshments. The 2 Ipswich players are on their feet. I can't see exactly who is the Hull player laid out flat right on the penalty spot. We don't have the benefit of any monitors up high in this stand. We're right at the back of the MKM Stadium, on the higher side of the stadium, looking out over the city.
Is it Matty Jacobs?
It is Matty Jacobs. He's now sat up. The substitutions are going to be made, and the first of them is going to see the introduction of Taylor for Luongo. So Massimo Luongo's night is over. He might also be thinking ahead to Coventry. Yeah. They're playing again in 3 days' time.
Definitely, mate.
Lewis Travis, who's had to make cameo appearances from the bench this season. He started 4 games, but this is his 5th substitute appearance.
Chaplin.
Looks like Connor Chaplin is the player walking across to the near side. Maybe a little bit of protecting 1 or 2 of his key players ahead of the midweek game. Notice that Nathan Broadhead isn't even on the bench tonight.
No, I'm just wondering if this maybe is, I know like they play Chaplin as a 10 just in behind the front, whether he's going to go in there and he's just going to shore it up a little bit, Ipswich.
Well, Travis will adopt Luongo's position,
yeah,
and Taylor will be the more attacking midfielder.
Yeah, it's the same shape, to be fair.
And that lull in proceedings has actually probably benefited Ipswich more than it has Hull.
Definitely, because they got a little bit of momentum since the goal. I mean, I just looked at Sam Morsey. He's the one that definitely can't come off. He's been excellent tonight.
76 minutes played. You're listening to Talk Sport 2 live at the MKM Stadium. Ipswich lead 3-2 at Hull, and they're coming forward looking for a fourth. Taylor, though, unable to find Sarmiento, another of the substitutes. Played out high to the far side. Twanzebe falls and then gets to his feet, and it's played down the line. Taylor, loads of space from the right side, options in the middle, but again straight to a Hull player.
Yeah, wrong choice, wasn't it? I think it should have gone right across the 6-yard box, because to be fair, Kiefer Moore was homing in on that area.
I was just watching Ozan Turfan, and I wonder if he'll be feeling he should have made those chances earlier. Noah Ohio running towards the edge of the area, left foot shot deflected, and Halaki literally arcs his back like a ballet dancer to reach the ball, because it popped up off the boot of an Ipswich player and looked like it was going to go over the head of Lackey into the goal.
It's a great save, because he's got to react. You know, that unnaturally sits up. I mean, it'd have been a low strike straight into his midriff, but because of the deflection, it kicks up, like you say, Mike.
Corner kick, Hull City from the far side. There, left, in swinger to the edge of the 6-yard area. Burgess heads it back towards the exact same spot for another corner.
Yeah, you think that Hull might try and do something a little bit different here, you know, in and around the box. They've defended it quite well. If you look, it's zonal marking, 3 across the 6-yard box, 1 in the hole, and then you've got 5 markers for Ipswich. Defended set plays really well.
Carvalho with the corner, again, same spot, edge of the area, headed out by Kiefer Moore, back defending. Burgess steps in and clears, and Ipswich force it up to the halfway line, where it's collected by Slater, under pressure from Moore, who's won the ball off Regan Slater, and Ipswich have numbers over here. Jack Taylor down the middle, into the path of Sarmiento! Again, it's another save by Ryan Alsop.
Yeah, it's straight at him. He's got to do better there, Sarmiento. It's great play by Kiefer Moore. Good supporting run. He's got runners either side of him, and he chooses to shoot. You know, that's got to go low and hard past the keeper. He's actually made the angle really well.
I tell you what, if Hull City get anything out of this game, Ryan Alsop has to be their man of the match.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, he's made 3 or 4 saves, Mike, that that have kept Hull City in it at this point.
3-2 Ipswich lead. 11 minutes plus stoppage time. Leif Davis has gone over to the far corner, away to our left, in front of the Ipswich fans, who are occupying that corner, wrapping round that area of the stadium. Davis will take it. The assistant is blocking his path at the moment, because the referee wants to speak to both Travis and Seri. So the corner will now be taken by Davis. 4 players on the penalty spot, the rest around the 6-yard area. Low in, Moore tries to glance the header on as he collapses under a heap of players, and eventually it goes out for a goal kick to Hull City. Time is running out in their season. If it stays like this, they will still have a chance of matching West Brom's points tally, but the goal difference will be 12 goals inferior.
Yeah, it's a nearly impossible task.
Hull are at Plymouth on the final day. West Bromwich Albion, they are at home on the final day to Preston. Norwich City, as it stands, are going to be in the playoffs. Now Ipswich doing Norwich a favour. That doesn't happen very often.
I can't see that, mate, can you? Somehow.
Well, it's certainly not intentional. But if it stays like this, Norwich will be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it'll be down to Hull to score a shed load of goals at Plymouth, and West Brom to ship a load of goals at home to Preston. Realistically, we all know football. That ain't going to happen.
It's not going to happen, no.
Right. As change by Hull City. Regan Slater's coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Ryan Giles. Straightforward swap at the full-back position. And Ipswich, in the meantime, are giving some treatment to one of their players on this near side. The 2 coaches, I mean, how anxious must you be? You've been in that position.
Yeah, it's, there's 80 minutes on the clock. That final 10, 11, 12, 13 minutes, however long with extra time, will just seem like an eternity for Ipswich. They've got themselves in this winnable position now. They know they're halfway there, but from Hull City's point of view, it'll run away like nothing all the time, because they're desperate to get back into this game.
Leif Davis is actually hobbling off the field. I think he wants to try and continue. Harry Clark is going to come on
he's
anyway,
going
so
off, isn't he?
Davis's night is over. If you're an Ipswich Town fan, you'll be hoping that that is nothing too serious, but he's gingerly making his way back towards the dugout. He actually shakes the hand of Liam Rossignol. He looks in a fair bit of pain there, doesn't look comfortable at all.
Yeah, he's performed well tonight as well. He's looked good at left back.
So the change made, Clark for Davis. 8 minutes left, time is running out for Hull City. This probably will be their last home game of the season, unless they can equalise.
Yeah, definitely.
These fans here who've supported their team and given them plenty of vocal support tonight are now quieter, and the noise is coming from the Ipswich fans.
Yeah, I think the frustrating thing probably for Hull City at this moment in time, they've probably played worse than this and won. They've actually played well tonight, but Ipswich have been good.
Here come Hull City looking for that third equaliser. Carvalho out to the far side of the field. Giles has just come on, steps inside, gets tugged back by...
it's a free kick.
It was Hutchinson. It's a free kick, 5 yards outside the penalty area on the left wing. That's the far side as we look.
I think both sides have been guilty of that, Mike. Where they've given silly free kicks away in good positions. Yeah,
this is probably the third or fourth free kick from this position on the field, whether it be Ipswich or Hull.
Yeah.
In this case, it's Hull, and Giles is going to take it. Greaves is forward, Jones is forward, Jacob is forward, and in it comes Lowe. Not the best of deliveries, and Sarmiento doesn't even turn to look upfield. He just blasts it out to the far side, where Hutchinson is under pressure from two Hull players. And eventually, no free kick given. Hutchinson looking for a free kick. Oh, he gets it in the end.
I don't know what the referee's waiting for there, to be honest with you. It was a free kick all day, but it deliberated and waited to look and got a little bit of a boot before he gave it. They're managing these minutes well at this moment in time, Ipswich. They look like a side that are capable of getting that second automatic spot.
If it stays like this and they win at Coventry on Tuesday, that's not a foregone conclusion, but if they were to win at Coventry, they would be up, and Leeds would definitely be in the playoffs before they play against Southampton, which is a tough game in itself on the final day for Leeds United. They'll be watching on anxiously.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all these sides that we're talking about now have had absolutely brilliant seasons.
Well, this is the thing. The team that finishes in third is going to have 90 plus points.
Yeah.
And may not go up.
Yeah.
The ball is with Jayden Philogene, who switched to this near side, the Hull right. Just over 5 minutes of normal time. Talk Sport 2 live at the MKM Stadium, where it's Hull City 2, Ipswich Town 3. Ipswich edging towards automatic promotion. If it stays this way, they'll be 2 points away from a long-awaited return to the top division of English football. 22 years. 2002 was the last time they played in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think before Kieran McKenna came in, I wouldn't imagine they'd have envisaged 2 years like this, Ipswich Town.
Well, Kieran McKenna turned 16 the week that Ipswich last played in the Premier League.
Wow.
Ball is played out to the far side. Hutchinson from the right crosses in. It evades Moore. Delat doesn't clear properly. Travis is getting himself involved to try and keep it alive, using his energy, expending the energy he has. And Allsop wants to get it out of his penalty area as quickly as possible. I think Hull just seem to have lost a little bit of momentum. Yeah,
they have, and they're trying connecting passes but not going forward. They've got to go forward. They've got to try and get in front of goal if they can.
Sarmiento's won it but then lost it again to Ohio. Seri to Greaves. We're still inside the Hull City half. All the noise is coming from the away fans, the 2,000 or so who've got a very long journey home. Some of them will be going to work a few hours later, but they won't care if their team win.
Well, that's a yellow card, but he's not getting one from the sub Clark on Philogene.
Free kick then, a few yards in from the touchline on this near side, will be taken by Carvalho. Amber shirts heading forward to try and get the goal. In it goes from Carvalho, deep to the far post, headed down, pushed away by Hladky, and in! Off the underside of the crossbar by Noah Ohio! He was the hero in midweek when they won at Coventry, and he may well have kept them in playoff contention at the death against Ipswich. Hull City 3, Ipswich Town 3.
Yeah, they just don't deal with the cross from the free kick. Ipswich brilliantly headed back across goal, and it's a difficult chance for Ohio, but it gets right over the ball, keeps it down underneath the bar, and it ricochets into the far corner. It's a great finish from the big man. He's made a difference since he's come on.
The goal scored in the 87th minute. There's still time for another winner here. Would Ipswich take the lead again for the fourth time? They're coming forward now. Taylor, just outside the area. Tufan is putting him under pressure. It's not over yet. The season's not over yet. Hutchinson cuts inside again from the right. Hutchinson's shot is blocked. My goodness me, he nearly did it again. And now it's Ohio crossing the halfway line. Burgess uses all his energy to get there first and get it back to Hladky, who'd actually made a good save.
Yeah, he did make a good save. But I mean, you look at the marking. They've got to really be thorough with the marking there at Ipswich. You can see why they concede goals and why they score.
3-3, 2 minutes of normal time, plus stoppages left. Ipswich come forward just outside the area, central, play to Sarmiento, on the D, looking for movement to get a shot away. Sarmiento shoots, but it's straight down the barrel, straight down the throat of Allsop. The Hull City fans want to get on with it. Allsop pumps it down centre field towards the lap, who slips. The Hull fans, they're crying for everything. And now Ipswich come forward. It's going from one end to the other. Hutchinson, right-hand edge of the penalty area, heading towards the dead ball line. Hutchinson shoots towards goal, blocked by the head of Matty Jacob, who was out on the ground.
I don't think he knew too much about that, Matty Jacob. I mean, he slipped. Such is the trickery of Hutchinson. He comes inside on his favourite left foot, and as he slips to the ground, he strikes the ball, and it just ricochets off his head. This game could have finished. It could finish anything.
Do you know what? You almost don't want this season to end.
No,
it's been that good.
Yeah,
the championship this season.
Yeah, 6 goals, brilliant.
And there's more to come. And we've got the playoffs as well. But will Hull City be in the playoffs? This point will certainly help them. Throw in by Clark into the Hull area. That's handball by Cameron Burgess. Hull get a free kick. We're into the last minute of the 90. Hull City 3, Ipswich Town 3. It's been a roller coaster of a game. Ipswich took the lead, Hull equalised. Ipswich restored the lead just before half-time. Hull equalised. Ipswich went ahead again, and Hull have equalised. Is there another goal here? Allsop from the edge of his area. The ball high in the air towards Ohio, prods it down looking for Carvalho. It goes all the way back to Hladky in the Ipswich goal. He goes straight down centre field. There's no time to mess around with it. Clark infield now, just inside the Ipswich half. Morsley under pressure from Seri. He's won it, and then he's had a foul awarded against him, and we are into 6 minutes of added time.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fantastic game. Great advert for the championship. This could go either way, like we said. I mean, I know it's an obvious thing to say, but it's so open.
Hladky clears. Kiefer Moore falls over of his own accord and now gets back on his feet to put pressure on Jacob Greaves. They're tugging at each other, and eventually the referee gives the benefit of the doubt to Greaves, and the two players hug. There's no afters there. Could have been.
Yeah, it looked like it was just going to get a little bit nasty at one point, but
they just got a bit tangled, didn't they? Now the free kick taken quickly. Forward by Jones, down the near side, the Hull right. Delat brings it down, tries to immediately dive inside of Cameron Burgess's challenge, but can't. And Ipswich have possession back again. I tell you what, if you're an Ipswich fan or a Hull City fan, your pulse must be racing. Clark, Sarmiento into the centre circle. Clark then out wide. But it's not going to reach Hutchinson, but it's been given straight back to Ipswich by Matty Jacob. Hutchinson midway inside the Hull half. Short to Taylor. Square to Morsey. 25 to 30 yards out to the D. Hutchinson now from the right-hand angle into the area. Taylor turns away. Taylor squares. Greaves clears. Twanzebe tries to head it back in, but Hull will come away with it, but they won't be able to break away because Luke Wolfenden is there to launch it forward for Ipswich. It's relentless.
Yeah, it's just so open. It's like both sides have decided that they're not going to defend, they're just going to attack. So much space on the pitch for attacking players to exploit.
4 minutes left of added time. Hull 3, Ipswich 3. It's been a mesmerising contest. Wolfenden crosses the halfway line for Ipswich. Moore turns away from one man but walks straight into Jaden Philogene, and then Ipswich win it back and lose it again. Hull come forward. Delap though, he can't retain the possession either. Nobody can hold on to the ball for any length of time. Sarmiento runs the ball down the touchline on the near side. Away by Hull, only as far as Travis. There's some tired legs out there now.
Yeah, there's a lot of this through mistakes. You know, like you said, both teams are tired. Both teams are trying to go for it. They're both almost like boxers on the ropes, you know, where they both slugged it out and it's really open.
3-3 and just over 3 minutes left.
I tell you what you don't want to do at this point is lose it.
Or go home.
Yeah.
There are people leaving, I can't believe it. Forward down the far side, the Ipswich right. Here's Hutchinson. Is he going to score a hat-trick? He's gone in. Right foot shot. Again it's saved. The rebound. Sarmiento's shot is saved. Another shot is blocked. Unbelievable defending. And in the end, Ipswich have got a free kick on the edge of the Hull City penalty area. My goodness me.
Wow, talk about bodies on the line there, Hull City, absolutely brilliant.
3 blocks.
Yeah, I mean 3 good chances and all that were presented, and just people putting the bodies on the line. It's been such a fantastic advert for the Championship. What a game.
Well, Hutchinson cut in on his right foot this time, got 10 yards from goal. Allsop saved again. The rebound came out to Sarmiento. I thought he was going to score. It was a brilliant block. I'm not sure who it was. And then Morsey got the ball. His shot was blocked by, I think, Greaves, who was literally laying out on the turf. And now Ipswich have a free kick. It's about a yard or 2 yards outside the penalty area to the right of the D. It suits the left foot of Amari Hutchinson.
I'm just thinking there, I agree with you, Mike. I mean, if Hull City get anything out of this game, that thanks have got to go to Ryan Allsop, because he's been absolutely magnificent in goal.
2 minutes of added time left. Looking around me, there are some anxious-looking Hull City fans, because Ipswich could win it here. Amari Hutchinson could score a hat-trick here. This is a good position, but he's got to get it up and over. There's a Hull player on the floor. Hutchinson left-footed. He gets it up. He gets it over, but he can't get it down again.
Yeah, he never looked confident, to be honest with you. I think the goalkeeper, Ryan Allsop, got his walls spot on. Made the goal look small, came off his line slightly. Just gave Hutchinson nothing to aim at.
There's time here for another goal for Hull as they clear it from inside their own half. A minute left of injury time. Headed out to the far side, Giles infield. Headed away by Travis to the halfway line for Ipswich. Sarmiento prods it through, but it's behind Kiefer Moore. Greaves goes back to Allsop. He thumps it down the near side. Clark is underneath it for Ipswich. Cushions his header to the feet of Travis. But he gives it straight back to Hull City again. Philogene. Ohio with the first time touch. Now it's with Tufan. 30 seconds left of added time. It's hanging inside the centre circle. Ipswich have it. Sarmiento can't get there. Greaves with an outstretched left leg to Ohio. And eventually all the way back to Hladky. No one's giving it up here. No one's sitting on this. But the time is just about run out. Morsey out wide to the right. Cleared forward. Moore brings it down inside the D. Lovely control. Kiefer Moore. He can't get the shot away. Referee's blown up in any case. It's a free kick to Hull, and we're in the 7th minute of added time.
Yeah, good defending by Alfie Jones. Just didn't let the big man field him. Kiefer Moore stepped across him and just pinched it, forced the foul. Good play.
The referee's going to blow his whistle when Ryan Alsop hits this kick, and that is indeed the case. It brings to an end an absolutely enthralling game.